Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something fun and it's the first time I've ever tried this, and I'm trying the scrub technique for an ombre nail. So the scrub ombre nail. And I'm really feeling the sunny, summery vibes, so I decided to go with these beautiful pink colors from Revel Nail. I have Vogue here with the darker color, and then the lighter color that will be on the base is Covetous. I feel like these complement each other really well, and they look so fun on the hand and just brings out the happy colors of spring and summer. And the liquids that I'll be using are my favorite, which is the double dip liquids. And all right guys, so I've already trimmed my nails down, I've already filed them down, I've already cleaned up my cuticle, but I need to go ahead and rough up the base, my nail base, because the nail bed. I need to make sure that dip powder has something to stick to adhere to, because if I don't and it's slick, because you know your nail bed has actually got moisture in it and it's slippery. So if you don't roughen that up, the nail powder is just could be lifted off in a couple of days. And we don't want all of our hard, beautiful work to be destroyed within a couple of days. So just lightly take a file and just go over that nail bed. And then just take a toothbrush and just wipe it off. So here I'm getting ready to start the process, and I just take a nail stick and I want to stir the product up. Make sure everything's well blended in there. And I'm starting off here with my double dip base coat. And I'm going to put this on like I always do, doing any other kind of nail dipping. I did mess up though. Make sure you guys always do a thin layer, because you'll see here in just a moment that I made it a little bit too thick and there was some puddling on the tip of my nail, and you'll see the problem that it causes. All right, here's the different part now. You pick up any kind of eyeshadow brush and you're gonna smudge that in to the tip of that nail. See on the very, very tip how it's thicker? See that's thicker there? On the tip of that nail. That's because I had too much of that base liquid and it puddled there, and so more of that Vogue powder stuck to it. Now we're going to do it again. We apply the base coat lightly, thinly apply that, and we're going to dip this into Covetous again. And you could just take any old brush, just a cheap brush, go to the dollar store, get a little cheap eyeshadow brush, and you're going to dip it into the second color, which mine of course is Vogue. Put a whole bunch on there. Don't tap it all off, because you want a lot to go onto that tip, because that's what you're going to work with, smudging that into the nail. So see, I'm taking, put a little pressure on and just short circles all the way across, all the way across. And it's just going to blend right into that, creating that ombre look. Okay, we're gonna repeat this again. A lot of this is very repetitious, okay? So you're just gonna do the same thing over and over. Again, just putting a light coat of the double dip base coat on. Going to dip it into Covetous, the lighter pink color. And then I'm going to take the brush and I'm gonna smudge it in, dip it into the Vogue and smudge it into the tip of that nail. Now guys, you will do 3 rounds of this, okay? So that's 15 times you're gonna do this. Now, for the sake of not boring you guys to death and not taking up a lot of your time, I only showed 2 rounds, and I thought I was being too generous then too. I thought that's a little bit too much, but I did show 2 rounds, but you will do 3. And after that 3rd round, you will do a 4th, but it's just going to be in the clear dip powder. And of course, I use the Revel Nail Vivian, which is the one I always use. At the end of this video, I will give a little more detail on what I feel like I should have done more that would make them look a little better. I mean, I'm happy with the way it turns out. I mean, the colors are beautiful. They turned out a little bit thicker than I wanted them to. But since this is my first time, I will say I probably would just do 2 rounds. Just 2 rounds of this dipping here, and then the third round would be the clear. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys watch this, and when it gets to the time to do the dipping in the clear, then I will come right back. Okay guys, so now it's time to protect that ombre nail, and to do that we have to dip it into a clear dipping powder. And the one I always use and I like so far the most is Revel Nails Vivian. And to do that, again, you just put the base coat on just like you were doing previously, and you're just going to dip that nail right into that clear dipping powder. And you'll see me do this here. Now, I do have a suggestion. I was already concerned that my nail was too thick because, like I said before, I did 3 rounds of the ombre dipping and then another round, which had been 4, with the clear dip. So I was trying to make that really thin because I felt like I was starting to get chiclets on my fingers, and but it hurts me in the long run. Why? Because whenever you go to grind or buff and file, you could take off that ombre look. It goes away because, duh, Kristen, that's the whole point of adding the clear dip powder. So I was trying to make that thinner so it wouldn't look so thick when it didn't protect the nail, because I was trying to make it look smaller. So my answer to this problem is do 2 rounds of the ombre dipping, 1 round of the clear dipping. Now that might not work for everybody, but I don't know if it was this dip powder, or maybe if it's really sheer colors, 3 rounds would do better. These colors here are pretty thick, so maybe that's why. So I guess it really depends on you, the dip powder you're using, and the consistency of it. But for this particular nail manicure that I did, it would have probably been better if I just did 2 rounds of the dipping ombre and then 1 round of the clear, and make sure you get a full, good, nice, clear protection, because that will help you tremendously whenever you go to file. All right, so after we're done with that, we clean off the nails, and then it's time to save it all with our good old activator, which of course is from Double Dips. And and this is what cures it, hardens it all up so we can file it and do it and get the shape that we want. So I'm going ahead here and applying the activator. Okay guys, so here I am starting the filing process, and as I told you guys earlier, just do not skip out on a good layer of the clear dipping powder, because if you don't do as I said, what happens is you're trying to get your shape, you're trying to thin them down, and when you do that, like at the part where it has the darker color, you may file through that and you'll end up getting patches, and it'll be like little holes of the color of the other color. Like, so I was getting the lighter pink would come through at the top with the through the darker color, and of course it looked horrible, so I'd have to go back and re-dip, re-scrub and all that. So anyways, just keep that in mind whenever you guys are doing this, that filing was the hardest part of this, because you want to get down to that beautiful natural thin shape of your nails. But then again, you have to make sure you're very cautious and very careful when you are filing, especially near the darker color, because it can come right off and you've just totally messed up that ombre look. Okay guys, so do you all notice a little something different here with this clip? Yes, I am somehow suddenly done with my left hand and on my right. So what happened was I kept falling into the deeper color there, and I would get patches and I'd have to fix it. So I decided I'm just gonna turn the camera off. I need to work on this and figure out what I'm doing wrong and just fix it. So after I kept playing around with it and getting things to where I was at least satisfied, I kind of knew what I was going to do, so I just finished it. Then on my right hand, which is usually my worst hand because I'm right-handed, I just decided to do 2 rounds of the dipping into the Covetous and then do the nail scrubbing. So 2 rounds of doing the ombre look, and then 1 round of dipping into the clear. And it turned out much better. They're not nearly as thick. I mean, they're still a little bit thick just because I was so scared I was going to go ahead and put patches through them again. I kept a little thicker than I normally would, but it's 10 times better on my right hand than it is on my left. But like I said earlier, it may have just been this particular dip powder that I was using, these colors. So if in the future, I'm going to have to make sure, you know, is this powder, does it go on really sheer? Is it light? You know, so keep that into consideration if you do try to do a scrub ombre look. Because the filing is what gives you the problems. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on filing this down, and then I'm going to start the buffing process, which to me is probably the most important part of the whole manicure process. Okay guys, so after I was finished with nail filing, I went and washed my hands off. And so now it's time to cure the nail and put the activator on. So I will put this activator on again just to cure this good shape that we've gotten and the colors in. And then I'm gonna let it rest for about 2 minutes, and then we'll start the beautiful finale of adding the shine to it, the top coat. Okay, so after the activator has dried and it's been 2 minutes, it's time to start adding on the top coat. And before you add on the top coat, guys, make sure you always go through and wipe off the nail surface with like a paper towel or something, because we don't want that activator to get into the top coat and contaminate it. It'll harden up the brush and it'll just make the liquid all blurry and foggy. So first we put it on, it's just, you know, quick strokes, and then the second layer is more precise. And do not forget to go over the end and the side parts of the nail, because that's what protects the nail and keeps it from lifting. And as you can see here in this picture here in this clip, you can see near the cuticle, it's a little bit thicker, and that's the areas that bother me the most. I like those to be thinner and kind of flush. But then again, this nail is beautiful. I have gotten so many compliments on it. I think I'm gonna let my nails grow out a little bit longer. I can't keep them too long. I'm a nurse, and at work it's for me, it's not pretty when I have long nails, but a lot of nurses, they do have beautiful long nails, but I'm very jealous. So anyways, I feel like it would look really good, you know, if it had like the neon colors on it, maybe with a clear base. I'm just having all these ideas in my head, and so I'm hoping to maybe add some of those on. So I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna keep working with it. I do love it. I think it's beautiful, and I think it did pretty good for my first time trying this out, and hopefully it will help you guys if you decide to do this. Maybe you got some kind of information that'll help you take into consideration. And if you guys have any advice, then please put it in the comments, and this can be for everyone. We can share all our thoughts on this with each other. So I'm gonna head off here and let you guys finish watching this. You will see me do my adding my cuticle oil at the end, and that is my favorite Grimes Ridge Butterscotch Bourbon. Love that stuff to death. So thanks everybody for watching. Please, if you are new here, please subscribe and give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks everyone, and have a great evening. Bye-bye.